Hope everyone has had a at least passable week with the trials and tribulations still plaguing the world. Gonna go with a quick roll call to make sure that everyone has their snacks, their character sheet, their drinks, their wonderful personalities at the ready. Joe. He's dead.
I said I'm here. Hello?
I heard you this time.
Okay.
Kotar,
I don't have those.
you don't have snacks and
Pers- or
beverages?
toes?
Well,
Sarah?
Oh, I forgot a drink too.
Union?
I'm Union.
Arson?
With my drink.
And Tempest.
I really hate that you brought that up because I'm not allowed to eat or drink for 12 freaking hours, and I'm starving.
I just work here.
I hate all of you.
This is where we stop by a roadside inn with like the most impeccable of menus.
I'm pretty
I
sure that
will-
it would be burnt down by the end of the night.
This section is just an hour and a
I
half
will
about
leave.
describing food
Don't-
in explicit, like George R. R. Martin level of detail. The bubbling, buttery grease running down the chin.
Don, I will burn
Andrew.
you alive.
don't
I am
touch
not
me,
joking. I am hungry. I have already not eaten for 4.5 hours, and that may not sound like much to you, but I've had one meal in the past 24 hours, not by choice. I am hungry.
I kid.
I kinda kid.
Hi, hungry. I'm Leah.
That's the issue, is you kind of kid, and hi, Leah, I'm hungry.
Anyhow, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to our adventures here in Ilhern, where, as of our last meeting, the group has gathered up their belongings, uh, their mounts, the various companions, i.e., the orcs, and have once again struck out on the road of adventure, seeking to find some finality to the situation that is the Ridra Ring. TM. Pending. Other going ons, of course, there was a brief meeting with Arson and Tempest visiting the foster family of aunt and uncle for Arson. Um, some hopes were laid out by the family, and much appreciation shared for the constant support. The apparently most successful of their bloodline, I guess, is a decent enough way to put it. Even as with the fading moon, you found yourself questioning things going about. While on the flip side, dark side antics have led to severe woundings of both physical and pride senses within the tiefling known as Union, um, while also sabotaging various levels of trust amongst the party. Here, you seek to put all of that aside, as there is many a mile between here and your destination, and lords only know the dangers there lie. It is fairly early in the morning when you are departing, leaving through the western gate of Innslen and breaking off from the river road. I believe trying to make as straight a line as possible was the idea. I could correct. Feel free to correct me if I am misremembering.
Think that's right?
Straight at.
Straight to Roar, if I recall correctly. Sort of trying to sync up with that road.
Yeah, so I don't believe we were going to take the road or boat down to Buggin. I think we were going to just try and cross country for a while and stumble on the road.
Alrighty. So, what I would like from you, the players, is merely the overall travel arrangement, i.e., who is leading, who is paying attention to the terrain and such, and actually like making sure you're going the way you're supposed to be going, and who is keeping watch. You're welcome to set various tasks, and that will determine your progress of this overland journey.
And we'll be in the rear guard, kind of keeping watch.
I'll probably be somewhere in the middle.
Union would at least for a little bit attempt to be in the van, guiding.
Okay. So, I have got Arson and Union alert for dangers. So you two are perception checks, either shared or flip a coin, and one of you gets to go at advantage.
I was gonna say, can Tempest help Arson since they're on the same horse?
That would drop Union's roll. Basically, there is going to be one perception check, one survival check, and then if there are any external things such as casting of various spells, other travel oversights that can be handled as we progress. So
Okay, I see what you mean. I'm sorry, never mind then.
Arson can do it at advantage. It still more or less comes out to the same.
No,
Well,
if,
I don't want to butt Union out of it. So.
no, I mean if Tempest, I didn't realize that Tempest and Arson were on the same horse. If they're gonna be in the van, Union can
Oh,
drop.
we're
sort of-
being
The
in
rear
rear
guard.
guard.
Oh, they're
Rear
oh,
guard.
so Union's in the front. Okay.
Your
Yes.
union's in the front.
Okay.
Yeah, basically how we traveled last time.
You two
Yeah.
are the ones that were being alert for danger. Thus, the perception checks of this particular test.
I will roll at advantage if you don't want to, Don.
Go ahead.
And that was not an advantage.
Okay.
Well, 14.
All right. So that leaves Kotark, Sarah, Joe, and Tempest as far as attempting to get the lay of the land, either through discussing amongst each other, noting various landmarks, awareness and familiarity with the area. This would be the survival check. Who wants to dive in? You are more than welcome to try and replace this check with something else.
I am not good at remembering where I'm going.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
Landmarks are
Well,
especially mine.
I have been on this trip at least once before, or pretty close to it. So, I guess I'll plot the course.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, being that the my orcs have kind of been around in this area, do they know this area very well?
If you ask them, they don't have a hard and fast familiarity, but they're pretty decent at reading the land, specifically the shaman. So would be
Yeah.
able to give you advantage.
Okay.
The
so
right
it'd be
tool for the job, so to speak.
Survival, yeah. You know what? My survival's actually pretty good. At advantage, not disadvantage. It's gonna roll eventually.
Okay, there it goes. 24. Oh, you know what? It doesn't work if I try to move the party token via OBS. That's not
Yeah,
how it
that
works.
doesn't work.
And then if I realize I'm trying to move it while I'm not even on that computer, another. There we go. Hate not being able to see my key. A little further than that. Okay, so at a normal day's pace, that is where you will end up. Make sure you mark that everyone has eaten a ration. As the night falls, the those on alert, Arson Union, uh, taking turns to ride forward and back and basically keep a full perimeter around the steadily moving caravan of adventurers that is the rebels of the vanquished. You note that most of the terrain here is the farmland and such, the cleared and the feeding lands of Innsland, and it is only as you are reaching towards the road that you start to really break out into more uh, steppe kind of plains area and start seeing familiar, if not for the mere shape of it, and you somehow always seem to go into these damn hills. There's a theme going here apparently. You get the hills must have eyes, but far as you're aware, little to no danger. As the sun begins to set, my celestial aware individuals, you will note that it is a very dark night, as the last sliver of moonlight was the previous evening. Am I safe to assume, Tempest, that you'll be setting up your happy bubble? Tempest is typing.
Sorry, looking. Do I have Happy Bubble? Is that Tempest that has Happy Bubble? Yeah, Tempest does have Happy Bubble. Let me give you the parameters for that real quick.
I've never seen someone get so excited about
Unsweetened.
unsweetened tea.
I mean,
Love unsweetened tea.
yeah.
Weirdos.
I'm
Southern.
just staring in Southern, I think, as the expression is like, bless your heart.
Okay, listen, I was told that I was allowed to eat or drink anything, and I can have unsweetened black tea because I'm really thirsty and I'm really hungry. So I'm gonna make some hot tea right now. Okay, I'm really happy.
Okay.
Arson, you're in charge. You know the rules.
And so do I.
I will burn Union to a pulp. That was
You
on
wouldn't
purpose.
get this from any
As
other.
for reference
You're not
for
safe.
any reactions, Tempest is literally going to make the happy bubble. She's gonna cast it as no, she's just gonna take the 10 minutes as a ritual and literally go in her sleeping bag. Again, not talking. Go to bed. Anyone who tries to talk with her, she's not going to respond or anything. Okay.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So as you guys attempt to bed down, seeing Tempest and Arson step into the bubble, attempting to follow, it appears that the caster of the spell has voided your entry.
Everybody?
Everyone except Tempest and Arson.
That is rather rude.
Try to work on it.
Like Arson walks in, you just hear them go. Though the orcs, as usual, begin setting up their own little, their tents, their little campfire. Really confused.
I was planning on kind of staying with them anyway, so.
Yeah, confused that everyone getting stuck at the door that normally gets to go in.
Yeah.
I'll just find a spot.
Try the knob.
There is no knob.
Just gonna let that joke go.
The right place. At the wall.
You must enter the secret garden.
Try the other side.
Are you guys setting any watch?
Yes.
Union would take a watch.
Yeah, I'll take one too.
Okay.
Another.
Keep in mind, watches are 2 hours, otherwise you do not get a long rest.
Okay.
The last one. So that we got 4.
Planning on sleeping anyway, so if
Shock.
you want me to
Amazement.
take a watch, I guess I can take a watch.
I hear 4 watches, so it's a matter of which one you would like to assist.
Who, me?
Yes.
The last watch.
Okay. So I believe that would
So-
be arson.
Okay.
So I've got one roll already from a ring. Cough cough. In case you may have forgotten you're on a certain drop down menu. So I need a roll from Kotark, Union, and then arson at advantage. Okay. About the time between Union sort of vigorously waves at Arson to try and let him know it's his turn for to take watch. Um, Stepping out before either you can have a brief exchange over towards the northern side of the camp and about where the hills become to be very much more developed. Um, you're certain that you see movement. First, it seems like it's nothing, maybe a wild dog or something. But as your special eyes begin to focus and catch what appears to be a something bipedal darting from one hill to another, and both of you catch someone go, shh, 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 dumbass.
Union is gonna like give Arson a glance. Like you saw that right as he's reaching, and sliding his sword from his sheath.
Nod, nod.
Should I rouse the others?
Yeah, and I will attempt to rouse the Tempest.
To arms! To arms! Union loves yelling that, so he just starts yelling, "To arms!
I will get the bubble to get away from that.
Jesus.
Foes abound! Foes abound! To arms!"
The orcs look at you, Joe, confused as to the sudden ruckus within the center of the camp.
I will translate that the watch saw something to be prepared for potential combat, but don't initiate.
All right, they will flank on either side of you as they scramble for their weapons. Little drowsy as they don't stay up nearly as well as you do. But they
I've
are,
had years of practice.
yeah, they're trying so hard to be the most diligent guards ever. But as Union, your voice echoes out, Sarah Kotark, it's kind of hard to not be roused. It's really loud, and he's kind of like standing right next to you all while yelling.
Uh,
There's no movement as the voice of Union cascades out into the hills.
so what'd you see?
It was as Arson's ordered as well. There was a bipedal creature in the hills.
And what did he say again? Because I don't remember out of
He-
character.
I think he called me a dumbass.
I mean,
I don't think he was calling you a dumbass.
You called someone, dumbass. And you people
Is he
usually
small?
call me that.
It was definitely a medium creature. Best the two you were able to gather. So
Or medium size, one would think.
I will hold my hand out and point and kind of. How big is the spell? I will shoot it about 60 feet away. Just cast daylight. See what we see.
okay, so stepping out of the bubble as it prevents spells going in and out.
Yeah, that's why I said stick my arm out.
Well, no, you, the caster,
Yeah.
must be out of the bubble.
Fair.
Yeah, you are the source, not your fingertip.
I use the fingertip to cast.
That is me putting the letter of the law down. You are not casting by sticking a singular fingertip out the. No, because
No.
if you do that, I'm gonna do that.
And we both know that will not go well for anybody.
Because the stuff I'll cast with a fingertip, you're in trouble. Anyhow, stepping out of the edges, Tempest is semi kind of rousing.
I got word she is not awaking unless it's a fight.
Yes, I said semi kind of like let me,
Yeah.
like hands reaching for the sword, like not again. Don't interrupt me,
Yeah.
And there is that quick trail of light from fingertip out to the destination, and a sudden burst of the bright faux sunlight, accompanied by loud but hoarse screaming. As you can see, breaking away from the hill are men in rags, just bolting, trying to cover their eyes, screaming that the devils have come.
Rude.
Not incorrect, though.
Well,
The beggars union that come for you.
if there's one thing I hate more than children, it's the lower classes. To arms!
Oh,
No, that will get you a hold person.
We don't need to fight everything that insults you.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'd be here a long time.
Then we have to fight ourselves.
Yeah. So they're
Well,
running
They
away.
are running, and I mean these are you. They're not running well. You can almost they are so emaciated that it is a struggle to propel themselves. One of which trips, falls, and actually doesn't even get up.
Union is like 3 steps toward Elkvis, but just sort of pauses, seeing this not quite so intimidating charge.
Well, they're running away.
Oh, they're running away.
Yeah, no, they're.
I thought they were charging us.
Oh yes,
well,
so frightening.
They're charging. They're just circling.
They're going
It's
for
a
the
flanking
flank.
maneuver. Ride them down.
so can you turn the light off? Can we go back to sleep?
I think so. I will stop concentration on it.
How many people are running away?
You saw at least 6, one of which fell and hasn't moved since. They are still screaming as they run into the night.
And the money
I will be
pouches.
right back. Union is gonna mount Elkvis, sword still out, and begin to ride toward the fallen figure.
Ah, jeez. I guess I'm following too.
I mean,
Was gonna go back to bed.
you made the rule of you can't leave them alone.
I am aware.
But quickly hopping on your mount and riding after him, the two of you arrive. Both of you have dark vision, to my knowledge.
Yes.
Probably.
Cause I think only Tempest and Kotark don't. Off head top. Kotark,
Thanks.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I do.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
And light cantrip. I cast light on my sword.
That works.
I drive.
Oh, and you still have a snake scarf, by the way.
Ah,
Yeah,
hello,
as-
Yuto.
So the three of you arrive to see. First is like as your eyes adjust to the lack of light, there is in fact the still body that Elkvis and Sarah's horse sort of flanks around, um, and it stays motionless as Sarah, you place a fingertip to your sword and it eliminates that dimmer but still warm light. You can see that the man clearly tripped and cracked his head open on a rock, and he is not moving.
Is he dead?
At a glance, he hasn't moved.
Union will dismount and attempt to tend to the man.
Okay. Elkfist pads away, giving just a little bit of space, and munches on some grass. Clearly, he's just beyond caring right now. Sarah, as you look out, you can see that there are the other five individuals that are kind of watching carefully. They've crouched behind rocks, holding, presumably ready to throw pebbles at you to defend themselves.
Oh, I'm not gonna do anything to stop him. Just gonna wait to see if this guy stands up.
Union, you place a hand on him. He's feverishly hot, but it's fading quickly.
Okay. Union is gonna
Welcome back, Tempest.
take a deep breath and attempt to use some lay on hands on this man.
Okay. Need a religion check, of course.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll do this from Sarah's perspective. Sarah, as your eyes flick from your charge, that being Union, to the group of semi-hostile, emaciated individuals who you know are all human, as best you can tell. There may be a half-elf in them, but at this point, they're so thin it's beyond telling the difference outright. Um, they are eyeing your horse more than you at this point, definitely with hungry eyes. As their own eyes flick down to the unmoving man, you follow and see beads of sweat beginning to pop up on Union's forehead. His hand emits that relatively familiar warmth that you've seen other priestly individuals emit when attempting healing. The body does not stir, and as the light begins to fade, it doesn't so much do the slow, gradual recession, but is almost consumed, as is your own light, by darkness. I need everyone in the party to kindly roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please. Yes, Tempest, even in the bubble, this includes you.
Oh,
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 Wisdom saving throw.
oh.
Please roll 2d20s for your orcs for me, please.
Will do.
yeah, of course you're fine.
Oh no, Sarah, technically you did get his paladin bonus.
But red.
Okay,
What's his paladin bonus?
like plus,
5.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an 11. It's fine.
That's okay, Leah. I almost joined you in the one club.
I mean, you can't auto fail a saving throw, right? That's rules as written, isn't it?
It is.
And yes, Godark, all sentient creatures that you are aware of, including Sarah, as your mind goes blank for a moment. The world, for all but, let's see here, let me double check. Shockingly, Union. Yeah, for Union. Joe, you were close.
Oh no.
The world goes blank, Union, as you draw yourself out from the healing, and you more focused on trying to get this success, this connection to your deity. You can feel that thread from you to his divine presence, to Lathandar. But there is something else, something that followed through that thread, something that has been grasping at you, and not only you alone, but something you realize now has been assailing all of the divine. As Sarah falls from her mount there to your right, unconscious.
Uh,
Upon her
oh god.
upon her right hand, I say that as I look at my left hand because I'm a very smart individual. If we were at a table, I would slap myself. Upon her right hand, you begin to see, starting from her first knuckle down to her wrist, a vibrant blue line tracing along her veins. And then you can hear a gasp of breath. To the rest of the party, you come the same gasping awareness of the world and see the same marker on your own hands.
Does it look familiar in any way?
It's like you have that one section of your veins radioactively glowing.
Okay, like it doesn't look like any sigil or anything like that.
It's not a marking of any indication. It seems like something that is beginning to flow through you.
Union would rush over to Sarah when she fell off her horse.
Yeah, I don't want you touching me.
Union is like crouched and just sort of recoils a little bit.
It's in Union's hand too.
Yeah, but I saw the darkness come from him.
You. What? I don't know what this is.
How am I supposed to know? It came from you.
We should get back to the rest of the party.
Are the people who ran away, did they get knocked out? Is it on them as well?
As you look to the man now behind Union, there is this snapping, popping, unholy sound as the figure begins to rise.
I just tried to heal him.
Kindly roll for initiative.
The fuck did you do?
It's a healing!
You brought him. God damn it.
As your attention snaps past Union Sarah, the man, all throughout his veins and his eyes, are glowing bright, vibrant blue.
Everybody?
Everyone who intends to participate in the fight, as you hear, I can't quite do the sound, but insert unholy skeletal screech here.
Screech.
And
So since sorry, go
go ahead.
ahead. Okay, so she does hear the screech. Well, I guess that is never mind. That's what stirs her. Since I was gonna ask if, since she was kind of not paying attention and really not getting up, does she recognize the mark? If she does, I was gonna ask, does she know what's going on? But then you said screech, so I guess she does kind of hear that.
You're probably more reacting to like the fact that you were jolted first into what would amount to deeper unconsciousness than the sleep you were trying to get back to as Arson semi-roused you. And then that sudden gasp of air back into your lungs. Only to look around and through the bubble see Arson laying out on the ground, his hand glowing much like yours, and you can see your party similarly gathering themselves. Presumably, it is when you would rush out
Okay.
to Arson that you would hear the shriek, because otherwise you don't hear anything in the bubble, because bubble.
Okay, so I don't hear anything
You
because
just
it's
see
a
Arson
magic.
unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see him. So do I? Well, I'll just you'll just.
Yeah.
Oh, I can say this is beyond anyone's familiarity of something studied. For those who are curious.
Okay.
Let me double check my initiatives. Did I not open the initiative tracker right now? Well, God, I got like triple people. Hang on, what the hell? Okay, let's see here. Tempest is the I see her 21. I don't. Let's update that here. Tempest 21. Joe with the 12.02, so that's the bottom Joe. Arson 13, yes. Union
13.
13. Okay, let's update that. I've got two Kotarks here, 901 and 801. Looks like 801 is the correct one. Sarah, I believe was the 14 was correct.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get rid of the 5. Okay. So, Tempest, you are up first.
Okay, so all I see is arson on the ground and blue markies.
From within the bubble, as you shoot awake, your weapon's near at hand. You can see outside of the bubble Arson unconscious. Apparently, I am overlapping somehow over. You see Arson not so much unconscious. You see him getting up, as with the rest of your
Okay.
party. You guys will not be starting prone, as a no. You physically were able to get up before the shriek. But you can actually see out into the distance the silhouettes of Union and Sarah, as well as the two mounts, as you are on a flat area leading into the hills. So you can see them sort of, kind of, just not very well because poor you being no dark vision.
Don't get that, but yep. Okay. All right. So Tempest is going to run out of the bubble to Arson. However far that is, she's going to cast blur upon herself. Before I solidify that, let me double check one more thing real quick.
Okay.
Oh, there was a truck that just exploded on the highway behind me.
What?
It's I-95. Stuff happens all the time. Tire burst. It's just a loud bang. Bonus action. Okay, that's a bonus action. Wait, hold on. Pause. Bonus. Okay, yeah. So, she's going to cast blur on herself, which I will cast here. Haha. And then step into Blade Song. As she asks Arson, "What the hell happened?"
I don't know, but bad. 5 words.
You have the best words.
The you just words.
Yep.
Okay. Sarah, as you shake yourself awake, assuming that was getting some awareness, moving, casting, intending to do anything else. I'm assuming drawing weapon.
On me, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Weapon drawn because I went into Blade Song. I think you have to have your weapon drawn for that.
Okay. So Sarah, as you stagger your feet, knocking Union's hand away, it is very easy to see the 2 points of this icy blue light where the man's eye sockets remain, and the glow of his veins.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it.
That hits.
If he's alive, I'm gonna cut it again. But
There is a coldness that runs through. Is this a magic weapon, perchance?
it is.
Okay. There is
Needs a
a coldness that runs through. It's unsettling at first, as you've fought enough, both persons and less than persons, to know that that should have cleaved his body with little resistance. There was nothing to him. But as his blood spills, it pools almost like iced over moonlight. This sickly blue white tone that puddles at his feet. As you draw the great sword back with the follow up, your momentum swinging back catches him in the neck and sends the head spinning away and plopping, leaving a dotted little trail, almost making your own little constellation there on the ground before the body slumps against you.
I'm gonna let the body drop.
Floor.
Pushing it aside, you can see as your turn ends, the five others, there's this snapping, inhuman movement of the knee twisting violently one way in order to put a leg in front of them, the spine rolling forward as if physically trying to pull the body uh, towards you, with while the heads, their eyes, not so much looking at you, but almost through you. They stagger and end just about 20 feet from the two of you, Union and Sarah. As Union, it is either you or Arson's turn, kind of in concert. I will note, Arson, Joe, Kotark, and Tempest, you can see very clearly the enemies because of this glow. And specifically, you can now actually see Sarah and Union because of the blood on the ground. It is providing light.
Okay.
You may go first.
Okay. How far away are the approaching enemies?
20 feet.
And how many are there?
5.
5. Okay. Um, Union is going to charge forward, shield and sword drawn, and attempt to stab one of them through the chest.
Okay.
Why did...
Twisting on the ball of your foot, falling into practiced motion, you launch yourself away from Sarah, shield raised. You feel that immediate weight of two of them attempting to pull it down and get to the flesh of you, even as the longsword runs itself through just beside the sternum. That same sickeningly cold feeling that the air had filled with when Sarah cleaved at the other one there beside you. Withdrawing the blade, it is soaked with that vibrant blue that you can now see dribbling down the man's chest. He's still standing because he hasn't rolled damage yet.
Sorry, I'm...
I figured how to do it on Tokus. I forgot how I did it.
Stupid thing, like, that update broke it, and I'm trying to figure out how to... Alright.
Like literally, only Tokus I remembered how to do it.
Oof.
Yeah, he is still standing.
Alright, you know, swing it, draw the blade back, and swing again, attempting to remove his head from his shoulders.
Okay, that is a hit.
And this time, Union is going to channel the will of Thandar and smite him. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to hit him with the
Divine
smite.
smite.
I'm going to spend a spell slot.
1d8 per spell level, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'll do it.
2d8 first.
Yeah. So it's 3d8 plus 6. I'm gonna do it first level.
Unless undead or fiend, and then it adds an extra d8.
Which it would.
So 48.
48 plus 6. Damn it. Well, that's not too bad.
As you continue that same motion, drawing your arm back and letting your shoulder roll over, more using a backswing to pull the blade from the back of the neck forward in order to set yourself into a defensive posture. A quick prayer utters forth, even as the body slams to the ground. It only seems to fill the other four with a rabid aggression. Arson, you're up. You can
Okay.
see Union there, a quick splatter of that blue there upon his otherwise milky white face.
How far away from them am I?
You would only be about 50 feet away.
Okay, I'll move up 25. And then, how many are within 30 feet of me?
If you move 25, you will get in range of all of them. They're sort of in a pack position.
No, I won't do that yet.
Just fireball
I-
right on Union.
No,
Do
that
it.
was. Look, I can sculpt spell.
I was about to say, you can scope spell.
Yeah, but instead, I will pull out my wand and point at one of the undead guys and just cast a first level magic missile.
Okay.
Want me to roll them separately or no?
If you,
It's
you have
just all
targeted
on
this
one.
I need to, just go roll your damage.
Well, I was wondering if you wanted me to do the separate missiles.
No, I mean, it all falls under who you target. You specified you targeted one, you roll them all in one.
Yep.
He is still standing.
Yeah, I figured. That's all I got.
There's another burst of weight as you see sharp sparks of light issue from the camp and come to assist you, Union, as it smashes into one of your foes. Joe, you are up, and your orcs are to follow. As a note.
Okay. I tell the orcs to protect the horses that will handle it,
Grunt.
and I will move up. I'm assuming pretty close to where Arson did there.
Mhm.
And I can see Union and Kotark, right?
Kotark is back in the
Sarah,
camp.
do you mean?
You can see all of your party, but
Right.
yeah, you got Union and Sarah over by where the enemies
Yeah, Sarah,
are.
not Kotark.
Kotark's
It's- yeah.
actually not too far from where Tempest is at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to cast Bless on Union, Sarah, and who's another good person that's going to gain from this?
Tempest, probably.
Yeah, Tempest, because they're all going to be able to benefit from the D4. So that's my action.
Okay.
Then I'm going to quicken and blast off a sacred flame on the what looks to be the main guy.
The main guy, the one that was damaged,
yeah.
or
The first one that we kind of saw, basically.
he's
the
down.
the new one's that one's completely down.
Yeah,
So
there's 4 remaining, one of which is heavily damaged from the magic missiles.
not that one. I'm gonna hit a different one.
Okay.
So yeah. Sacred Flame, which I believe is Wisdom? No, Dexterity.
Save, which they're so good at.
And I rolled so well.
They rolled a -2. So
I think that's a success, but
yeah, Just throwing that out there. A negative 2 pass. It's like script overload, right? You know, or not overload, overflow. It goes so bad that eventually it's good.
Yeah. Comes back around.
Yeah. And it is radiant damage, so there's a wrathy shriek, as if the wind itself is shearing at the attack. The orcs will.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as he's momentarily bathed in moonlight from the sky.
Not a fan.
Yep.
The orcs very much quickly posture to defend where the mounts are tacked down, following their instructions. You can hear the shaman cast a buff, giving himself, the warrior, and you bless.
Okay.
That brings us to
know.
Kotark.
Oh, spells.
Hey, your fingers mostly work now.
Yeah, just spells. I know how these work, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can move within, so that they're within 60 feet, at least 2 of them.
They're currently within. They'd be 45 out from you.
Oh, matter. I'm gonna twin cast. Yeah, twin cast.
Thing. It's a good thing.
Twin cast ice knife. I believe rules is written that can't actually be twin cast because it has the potential to target multiple already.
Yes.
Really now?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
then
because
I,
it has the
They
AOE
did
component.
change that rule. Yeah.
I will keep those and just throw that.
Yeah. So you're just throwing the one ice knife.
I don't think there's anything else I could do.
Okay. Well, let's see how they do on their great dexterity save. Which, for the record, Union, you would be in range of this.
Okay.
So that's a 10, so it's a failure. And a 1. Not a red one, mind you. Yeah, no. None of them succeed. But that blows up the 2 that were already damaged from the shrapnel. So a DC 14 dexterity save from you, Union, to avoid icy spikes. As if it's not cold enough over there. There is now a splattering. It's very pretty. This vibrant blue blood flowing everywhere. As you manage to knock away the ice shards, Union. Gives a nice little glitter pattern to the air. Anything else, Kotark?
I think that's it.
Okay. This brings us up to Tempest.
Is there how many are standing still?
There are 2 remaining. One of which just recently took a significant bit of damage.
Okay. Using you said I'm 50 feet away, correct?
Yes.
Using the addition of Blade Song, Tempest is going to move forward her full movement, whip at the ready, and she is going to first attack the badly damaged one, and then do another hit towards the non-badly damaged one.
Okay.
If they're both within, so she's going to be 10 feet away from. Let me figure out how do I roll this thing.
Let me confirm. Is your whip magic?
No, it is not. It is a basic whip.
Duly noted.
But then again, does it turn magic because of Blade Song?
You'd have to tell
Oh,
me.
wait.
I don't think. I don't.
I don't
Poison roll.
think so.
I think most classes that just turn their attacks magic do so around level 6. So
Yeah.
maybe
I
something
was
there.
just like, I don't know. Also, that did not roll.
The 10 hits.
I was about to
I'm
say, and
trying to
you
figure out
have
how-
And you have
bless.
yeah, I was saying you have bless. You have a D4 added to each of those.
The D4 to the
To the attack.
9. I don't know.
Which
Yeah.
brings it at least to a 10, which means they both hit.
Okay. Why did it not roll damage?
Because it's broken apparently.
Yeah, they probably updated the sheet, and if you go to the gear in there, you have the option to change it back. I'm assuming. Forget where it's at, but I know it's in here.
Well, they're using the
Beyond 20.
Beyond 20
Yeah.
thing.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I've tried to
The
remember.
thing we oddly advertise a lot while streaming.
Yeah.
Wait, did it? Yeah, it did add the plus. Yeah, okay, it added the +6. Actually, oh wait, hold on. I think I figured it out. Do I just do that twice?
I don't know. I'm just waiting on the damage.
No, that rolled on. Yeah, 20.
D4 plus.
It probably was the
So D4 +5.
yeah. It probably was when Beyond actually made their own roller. May have broken it.
Yeah. It was right around there.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
All right.
I'm okay with those.
A quick whip smacking into the ice shard sticking out of the creature, the former human's back, is enough to send a spasm throughout the body before it sags. That slow claw descent as it tries to grip the shield to stay upon its feet, as the light fades out of its eyes and the blood issues from its wounds. The other takes a severe hit, actually cuts a large gash from one shoulder almost all the way across as the whip connects and recoils. Bringing us to Sarah. There is one foe standing.
I don't like this blood. This blood creeps me out. But I'm still gonna walk up to the last one and try and chop it down.
That will do it.
Second one just to be sure.
By all means, if you would paint the scene.
I'm just gonna, cleave it from shoulder to hip.
All right. Make a nice figure 7 with the whip slash on the back.
Yeah.
The upper half holds against your the crook by your neck union, trying to get that one gasping attack left before the strength leaves it. You can hear that sloughing sound of entrails and blood as it pulls at your feet before the strength fells it and it lets go, drawing you all out of combat.
Cool, so we killed 6 beggars.
Something happened to them.
Can just hold up my hand. I think it's still glowing.
Well, it's glowing even more now.
Oh, cool.
What is this?
I'm pretty sure we're going to end up like them.
Are we cursed?
I don't know. You tell us. It came from you.
It did not come from me.
I literally watched it come from you.
This blue thing is not of my origin. It's not of my creation.
Have I ever seen anything like this before?
As previously noted, this is beyond anything the present
Okay.
company would have studied.
Right.
Okay. Like the effects and everything?
The effects, the glowing blood, the slowly spreading from a similar location of the body. You're welcome to try.
Religion?
That was directed at someone else, but you're also welcome to
Oh.
try religion.
Okay. Yeah.
Quickly piecing things together, Arson. Your eyes flick to where the moon should be about this time. It's a lot darker than it should be.
Thing is wrong.
You can blame me for a lot of things, but I can't do that.
Well, he didn't
Joe-
share that with the party yet, mind you.
Joe's gonna start cycling through some of his healing and curing spells to see if he can
Okay.
do anything with this.
Those who are accessing divine powers all require religion checks.
I'm glad I have proficiency then.
Is my radiant soul a divine power? It's
It
kind of
is.
me.
It's a
Hmm.
celestial power.
That's what I was about to ask.
Hmm.
Someone that source before you ask is still working.
Good to know.
I like that you just assume it was directed at you.
Well, there aren't a lot of us with multiple sources of power.
So secret
There's at
warlock.
least two.
Well, technically 3, because I'm a wizard.
So I have to. So celestial souls have to do. You said
A religion
what
check.
type of religion check? Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I was trying. At disadvantage. Is that what you said?
Nothing
Or
about
just-
disadvantage.
no.
Just a religion check.
Okay.
Can I try to gather some of the spilled blood in a bottle?
Absolutely. At this point, those of you who are highly perceptive, i.e., Arson, Union, and I think most of the party, will note Tempest having stepped aside, attempting to cut her hand open, where the glowing is.
I have experience with cutting my hand open. It doesn't help very much.
I will try to run over to Tempest and stop her. What are you doing?
As the blade slips through, it does spill out that same sickly blue blood, but does not seem to deplete the source.
Spell slot is still used, correct?
Correct.
On a fail? Perfect. That's what I want.
I'm gonna tie a tourniquet on my arm.
Okay.
Try and slow the, blood there at least.
So at this point, it is actually worked its way up your pointer finger. This is to the entirety of the party as participated in the fight. So from your wrist running straight up to your pointer finger.
That's odd. I would have expected it to move the opposite direction. Yeah, I do say that out loud.
So, for the record, Arson, she is just constantly stabbing at her hand. Feel free to try and stop her. That is a
I will.
success, Joe.
Any effect?
I'm
That
ahead.
cold that was coming on goes away. You feel your sniffles go away.
Cold?
Yeah. But otherwise,
Well-
no change to the bigger picture.
Athletics to try to grab Tempest's hands.
So grapple checks.
Yes. I do not expect this to go well.
Athletics versus
Either
what?
athletics or acrobatics, your choice. Or you can opt to fail and let him grab you. So you snatch yourself away and realize who it is you are pulling back from, and with such rapid recoiling. And I will note he did verbalize the moon is darker than it should be. That was put out into the air in case it had gotten shot off of chat for stream's sake.
Otherwise, does the layout of the land look the same?
Other than your guys are kind of sitting on this weird pool of light at the moment, nothing else has immediately changed.
I mean, we gotta do something. Do you want to move back down to Innsland?
No.
We
Can't
have a
turn
job.
It's not a formal contract.
Yeah,
I'd rather not turn into an undead.
that.
It's very formal. What happened with cutting yourself? Did that work?
Doesn't look like it.
No, it does not.
Is your hand still open? The wound still open?
The wound is very much open.
Can I try something?
Tempest.
She's completely ignoring Joe. She's only looking at Arson and talking to him, to Arson.
Tempest, I don't know. We are trying to figure out what is happening. I need you to calm down. Deep breaths.
I don't have time to wait. I cut myself.
God damn it, Joe!
I'm sorry that this thing is spreading. Your marital issues are just delaying everything. I cut myself.
This is triggering lots of inner turmoil in me. I'm just gonna say I'm not feeling this is a very safe space for me right now.
Yeah,
Then to go away.
He's over here like looking at all the scars, like
Like, oh, when I do it, it's bad and self-harming, but when Joseph does it,
it's silence.
So I cut myself. I'm assuming this stuff is leaking out.
Begins to leak out. The portion that it is covering neither depletes nor seems to feel pain.
Okay. I'm gonna try something kind of weird here, but I'm going to raise my hand in the air and I'm casting Sacred Flame on myself.
And of course, now you get the good damage.
Do you opt to fail?
Mm-hmm.
You take 15 radiant damage. You're not currently classified as undead.
Did it have
So-
any effect on the blood?
It did not.
It's worth noting it's not growing right now, and it grew after we fought.
Right.
It might have something to do with killing these, the blood that they leaked.
Did mine grow at all?
Everyone that fought, i.e., the entirety of the party, grew.
Okay.
So maybe we should try to not kill anymore if they show up.
Sounds like a good idea as I'm trying to help Tempest over here. Yes, I'm trying to hug.
Is he actually trying to hug?
Yes.
whack.
I'm expecting this to go poorly for
40 feet away.
con save. Well, that's a
Okay.
lot of thunder damage.
Just
So that should have succeeded.
it did.
Yeah, I'm gonna give myself a cure wounds religion check first.
As a note, for the sake of expediency, it is a DC 10.
Okay.
I will try to follow Tempest, keeping my distance, because I don't want to get thunderstruck again.
That was fully your fault.
I know, but that still hurt.
She doesn't do the hug thing.
Arson,
I've noticed.
Union, double checking my perceptive people here. Sarah, Kotark, pretty much everyone, Joe, and Tempest, apparently.
There's a reason Arson points and she goes. There's a reason.
Yeah.
The four of you can note as you sort of settle about and trying to calm as best you can the various situations within the situation going on. See what looks to be a similar in color series of blue dots beginning to appear to the east, like pinpricks against the darkness.
Like in the general direction of like inland, or
Like the direction of
or
the lake. East.
oh, that thing we kept putting off and not doing.
I mean, you're nowhere near the lake, but
yeah,
directionally more the lake.
yeah.
Does it appear to be the same color
Yes.
as?
And it's like all pairs, pinpricks popping up and getting closer.
And getting closer. Wonderful. Its eyes. Should we go that way or the other way?
Say we should move away. Because we move away, there's less chance we will have to fight.
Let's try.
Do you
to
say
not
that
fight.
out loud?
Yeah, and crap. Because I think,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Tempest is gonna go towards it. She's done with this shit.
We should not be.
And I will follow
And she's
Tempest.
gone.
Once
that
Union
gone.
says that, she's going to turn over her shoulder and say, "You started this shit. I'm finishing it."
The only thing you're going to finish is your life.
Enough! I will.
That was the best sneak away ever. Not sneak away, Joe, ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It really was.
It was over infighting. Joe's over here solving world hunger.
just fading away into the darkness.
Not even fading away. He just turns and walks away.
So, as you turn your attention back from Union and towards what you can now note, these series of pinpricks getting multiplying and getting closer.
How close are we talking?
I mean, you're having to squint to actually see the pinpricks. It's like a low level of awareness or something.
Worry about it, okay?
So they're you would imagine that they're easily somewhere beyond 300 feet.
Well, this is Tempest anyways. It doesn't matter how far they are. She's going to full on face them, whip in one hand, standing as straight as she could, as if she were in the gladiatorial arena, and scream at the top of her lungs. I'm not allowed to scream because it's nighttime. She's going to scream, "If you want to fight, come get it. I'm here." Towards the pinpricks, not towards Union.
Turns which way, Sarah?
Turns back to her because I was walking the other way, and then hear the yelling. It's like, ah.
At least she stands for something.
At least she doesn't pick fights with little children.
I mean,
Oh.
technically, look, I'm gonna put it out here right here now. Technically speaking, the kid hit first. Yes, it was only a soft bump, but
Get started.
he initiated
No
that
proof.
contact.
No proof.
I'll mutter a soft prayer to Saloon as Tempest gets ready. Because I'm gonna need it, I think.
Where's Union going? Is he staying or leaving?
How many of the blue dots?
It's the numbers are growing. By pairs, at least 20, and counting more as it. Again, this is at 300 plus feet away, as more and more seem to fall into your field of view.
Union is going to Elquist and calling out to Arson and Tempest. We need to leave now.
Not leaving her.
Arson, get her and go.
Is she gonna thunderstep me if I grab her?
Yes!
I'm gonna try and grab her. Oh.
Sounds like she's made of water or something.
just flows out of your grip,
Mhm.
and as you watch Tempest, even for someone who is pro fight, but for, I mean, to be fair, she still has Blur up. Um, these are impressive odds, as the number of enemies that you seem to want to stare down continues to grow by the second.
Tempest, this is not a fight we can win.
Noted, Kotar.
Arson will notice the subtle flicking of her whip, not cracking it in the air, but that motion that she always makes when she's facing a very, very difficult decision. Sort of like someone tapping their hand against a desk, and constant for a good moment. At letting them get closer for just this moment longer.
When they're about 150, 175 out, it's almost a wave, seeming like stars marching towards you in the darkness. You realize these are humanoids, beasts, and then the ground trembles and your eyes follow one particular set of pinpricks. A giant.
Yeah, we need to go.
Yeah, we can't. We can't do this. Let's go.
Union is already
Yeah.
riding back toward the direction Joe went.
Oh, God damn it.
Tempest will calmly, but not like
Happily.
well, no, not as in like a leisurely stroll calm, but as if like a gladiator being told the fight is not today. So not with defeat and not with victory, but she will go towards grab her stuff that she didn't grab, like her backpack, since fighting, she doesn't fight with her backpack on, presumably, but grab her stuff before going to Arson's horse and looking at him like, "Are we leaving? There's a big giant there."
Grab stuff, go. We're going.
Okay. It is with quick haste you all gather up your belongings and ride in what direction?
Towards the creatures. No, I'm kidding.
I am in charge of this horse.
So they're coming from this?
They're coming from the west of where your marker is at the moment.
From the west?
The
Like-
west.
Oh no, excuse me, the east. I'm sorry, from the lake. Your DM
Okay.
is smart. He's looking at like 4 different screens right now.
I mean, the way we are going takes us away from it anyway.
Yeah.
I have something to say, but I need to ask something real quick.
Okay,
It's coming.
okay. I mean, I saw what you did to that Odo.
Next up, Dilo.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, early game, Dilo army. Just saying.
As he walks back up, Joe will just look very seriously at everybody and say, "I think we need to go north."
Which? Where north?
Right.
I trust you, Joe,
Why?
but
Rheindorf.
Okay.
We've returned there.
I just have a feeling that we're gonna find answers there.
Answers to what? We've had a
Prob-
feeling about all the things that we've done. Why? Give me a solid reason other than I have a feeling or this kid took my money. Give me something that is logical and reasonable.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
By the way, this is the
The
only
ground is
thing.
slowly.
Well, we can talk on the way.
North sounds great. North is lovely this time of year.
northwest at the very least.
Yeah, we have to go northwest anyway, so
Yeah.
Okay.
we
Joe?
can talk on the way and decide.
What was the feeling from?
I can't explain it. I just, with everything that's happened tonight and what we've already been through, I think we need to go north. And Rheindorf is north.
Okay.
You're just gonna have to trust me for now.
All right.
If I have more to say, I will say it. But right now, that's all I. We need to go north, and we can't wait. And he will cinch the belt tighter.
I mean, I'm not complaining. Let's go.
Like everyone is attempting to use tourniquet. Love it.
GTFO.
Whoop.
Oh, okay.
That's just
Tourniquet didn't work. Chop it off with a spade. Jesus.
I
I'm
will
not gonna
point
lie,
out-
I was tempted to have Tempest chop off her
Yeah.
arm. I was
That's
very tempted.
As
I
good
don't
as
However-
Everyone
don't have my
Actually,
spade.
Tempest does fight with her left arm.
Ash
so
versus the Evil Dead here, real quick. So, quickly mounting up and rushing away, and with little challenge, fortunately, your mounts at least rested peacefully enough. Because your DM's not going to be an asshole and make your mounts susceptible to the same thing that they were supposed to be. You soon leave the pinpricked moving cosmos behind you as you rush northward and away from the impending wall of foes. Daylight does not come. It should have. Hours into the ride. You're now deep within hills. Every now and then you see a similar pack, those pinpricks of blue, and even familiar washes of blood. That same ice blue, white, and radiant glowing. The road never meets you as Rheindorf, now your guide. It is not long before noon settles or feels like the right time in mind, and still the stars have not moved an inch. The moon, that same blacked out, lacking. As you clear the last of the hills and arrive with but another half day's travel, your mount's exhausted from the exertion. You glance around, those of you perceptive enough passively, and there's a relative moment of
Not me.
calmness. At least for now, a moment of escape. A steady wind, you realize now, has been blowing from the east. A cold, chilled wind. Washing from north to east, or excuse me, north to west, strongly. The orcs, very shaken by what has happened, are muttering to each other in their native tongue, um, making a multitude of very superstitious motions.
So, does anyone have any idea what's going on?
No,
No.
it should be noon by now, but it's not.
This is
Great.
some evil omen.
Well, you seem calm right now. Should we try and get some rest? It's dark enough, at least.
Well, we could use it, I suppose.
I mean, even Elkfist is frothing.
And so could they.
Joe is typing.
Yeah. I'm mathing. Hmm.
Well, party, do you intend to strike up camp and rest the animals?
I think we need to.
Yeah. Fortunately, we don't have too much of a choice. Hopefully, we buy enough time.
Agreed.
How will you assert the camp?
Well, I'd appreciate it if we were all out in the bubble.
Tempest. Please. For me.
Tempest will get off the horse and start performing the ritual for the bubble.
Okay. Moments later, it fills.
Did it really stop?
Look, man, they're unionized, so they take a lot of coffee breaks.
I knew Union was part of this.
It was a double loaded double barrel shotgun. I had to use it.
You sure did.
Is the Ridger ring still working?
It is, yes.
Okay, just making sure. It's, like, good things to know.
For the record, those who attempt to go in the bubble that aren't Arson and Tempest fall face first into it.
Oh, good.
No, as in wall.
Arson go bleh,
Oh, you said
Yeah.
fall face into it.
Yeah.
into the like fall into the bubble, like face the actual physical shell of it.
I'm confused. Are we allowed in or
No,
not?
No.
you smack into
Okay.
the bubble.
Just crossing my arms.
That is unfortunate.
Really getting the feeling you don't want to.
She can't hear it. We're in bubble.
Okay, I'm just sending a disapproving glare. A
She's not
disappointed
looking
glare.
at anyone since she started the ritual of the bubble, and since she was inside of it, she has not looked at anyone. She has simply laid out her bedroll and laid down.
Well, I suppose the rest of us shall camp beneath the stars or sun, whichever.
Are there stars?
As you look up, I was actually just about to whisper our Selûnites. There are indeed
Oh no.
stars. Less than when you first made camp. As if from where the moon should be less. As if the darkness is expanding.
For brow furrowed. I didn't say almost say Frau burrowed.
With that hesitation, I couldn't tell.
Yeah. I will just go into a full prayer mode as long as I can before I need to rest.
Okay. Anyone else have any specific plans?
No.
Union will look at the wound, at the blue vein, and sort of beseech Lathandar for some answers, that he might offer some guidance. Or some sign if Union was somehow responsible for this.
Wait,
Whoops.
Surprise!
Sarah's head opens up as just Ridra, like, with a little joystick controlling it the whole time.
Hi guys. How you doing?
It's Ridra!
She's been leading us on.
I'm here to spy on you.
Ah, I meant to whisper. That's damn. I did it
Anyhow,
again.
um, this is directed at Joe, Union, and Arson about what should be 4:30 in the afternoon, roughly, as the camp is kind of relatively settled. The mounts are being tended to by Thorgan Morg. Each of you can feel a strain. Particularly Union and Arson, as you guys are actively Joe, actively trying to reach out and get on the wait list for that phone call. As one can only imagine, every single cleric in the world right now going,
Yo!
yay, everything good up there? We good? We good? Oh God, help. It there seems to be, much as described to you, Union, as if something has spliced itself into the line, so to speak. Some of their power is reaching through, but certainly not that's relatively stable. Fucking moth, die! Relatively stable connection. Right in the super cinematic moment, moth. Fuck off. Um, which mean kind of Union tells you, hey, you're not explicitly at fault. But the longer that you try to hold that connection open, the tighter the that thread that seems to tie itself to you feels like it's pulled on, like something's trying to use you as an anchor. So for those not religious, you can see your three religious bros over there sweating bullets.
Which is always a good sign.
The TV screens in the sky all shatter, revealing the true secret that this was the Truman Show.
Knew it.
Yeah, it's
Show TV.
yeah. Y'all caught me.
Joe TV.
Mm-hmm.
I'd watch it.
Something's wrong. I don't know what. I think this has something to do with it. But it's like there's something else. How do I say this without using modern terms, damn it? Like something else is listening in on my conversations with my goddess.
Aren't there multiple praying at the same time? Is there a connection that connected? Interference?
I love y'all trying so hard to dance around like.
God damn it! Why'd you have to use those terms?
The wires crossed. What are wires?
I didn't say wires.
You said interference, which was true. Yeah.
I can interfere with somebody without modern technology. I can interfere with a letter. I'll scribble over the page.
That's illegal.
It is, I think.
It's kind of a federal offense, isn't it?
Uh,
To scribble over a letter? I'm actually not sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
One, you have to open up someone else's mail.
No, not opening up like if someone's writing the letter, I can like take a pen and go "Nyeh" over the page.
Oh, that's just being a dick.
But am I interfering with the letter? Yes, I am.
Not really. They're probably just gonna write.
Write it again. Yeah, probably neither
Yeah.
too.
Well, I can do it to every single one, can't I? I'm a persistent person.
I've
Yeah.
never noticed. But-
Probably so, Kotark.
Don't know. But we do need. I just don't know. I was lost before this, and now this. How
Is it
decide?
hurting you?
Is it hurting me?
Is it hurting you? Can you?
No, I was
still do your
talking
magic?
to.
Straining, for sure.
Eh.
There's a definite exhaustion felt trying to reach to that same
It's-
well that you normally would.
It is far harder for me to access those abilities now.
So is it more of empty? Like, is your well dry or are you clogged up?
But
Right, there was a joke I was gonna make. I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
nope,
Nice.
just let it pass.
Are we still doing
Nice.
phrasing? Or?
Raising.
Yeah.
Okay, realize Tempest does not believe in. It doesn't really go for the whole god thing. She doesn't really believe it, so she's not taking this as seriously as she should be. She thinks there's just some like when the sun gets covered up, but it eventually will go away. So she kind of thinks it's one of those things, like it'll pass like the tide. So she's not quite piecing it fully together, and she thinks everyone's overreacting.
Clogged up's probably the more accurate, more apt description.
Then I'll nod and say, clogged. Like, it still can get through, but it's a lot harder.
Right?
I didn't accidentally click another channel on my laptop. Why would you think
Oh,
I did that?
none of us have ever done that before. Like in the middle of a sentence. But you need to so luckily. My fireball's a divine spell right now. But I just kind of pull my knees up and rest my chin on my hands. Deep in thought.
Tempest will take in a deep breath and pat the bedroll next to her, speaking in a calmer, less sarcastic tone. Come here, come lay next to me.
And I will
You
do
know,
so.
sometimes you get those ideas, or what do you call them, visions in your dream. Perhaps you'll solve the problem that way. For now, there's nothing that you can do, nothing I can do, except sleep.
I will do so.
Well, to those not in the bubble that can speak primordial, Joe, the shaman approaches you definitely a little put out and confused by what's going on. It's like no one's been sharing any information with them. Should have brought that common to orc primer from the shop while you had a chance. But in primordial, it mentions, as best can loosely be translated, I don't see them anymore. I don't see the walking spirits.
Interesting. He gains his. You gain your power from the spirits, your ancestors, right?
I gain my powers from the the elements as well as my ancestors.
Do you have any problems summoning your powers right now?
Kind of shakes his head in confusion. He like you see he's trying to like think of some way to test that. And your GM's looking at a spell list like, what the fuck are you gonna try and
Exactly.
cast?
Try and cast.
He will attempt to cast Bless. You can see on his face there is none of the familial stress or strain that you've seen on either your, Arson or Union in the last several hours when trying to make a connection. As it seems, he draws, and you can see the grass around him, the actual air around him shifts as the spell issues forth from him. Casting again on himself. So Morg Thorgan yourself. So hey, you got Bless.
I will say it's good that you're able to still draw your powers. The concern that you've seen on the rest of us is that some of us we're still able to draw on our powers, but it's as if where before it's like drawing our powers as if pulling water from a stream. You know, the stream is constantly flowing. Now it's more like trying to pull water from mud. It's still there, but it takes more effort to get it.
Skorg over here flexing on y'all not being able to give a description.
I'm trying to use like nature, like
Nature-y.
Yeah.
to explain it to the shaman.
This has something to do with the walking spirits missing?
Possibly. You weren't there when we fought these. They were cursed spirits, you might say, walking undead. They were.
I saw you fight
Their veins were
the.
okay. Good.
You can tell he has no word for what he visualized them as.
Yes.
It was
Uh,
then that I haven't seen them since.
yes. It might have something to do with this, and I will like show him my arm that is
Trying to get it.
tourniqueted, blue glowing veins.
It's blue for more reasons than one right now. Keep cinching it.
Out of character. I've said it once. I only need one hand to cast. If I've got to, I will.
He, minus his eyes, of course, behind the bandages, he looks baffled. Holds out his hands, asking to inspect it.
Mm-hmm.
Make some commentary about there seems to be a lack of blood flow. You realize maybe he can't actually see the tourniquet, being that it's not living material.
Yeah. Something to do with his blind.
Yeah, something to do with him being blind. It's here is like the it flowed like water. It looked so sick. Looks so sick. And that's when he kind of looks at his own hand, and you see he does have that same mark.
Okay.
And now there's definite worry. How fix?
I don't know. Not for sure. I'm trying to seek help, but currently I'm unable to get any answers. The the ritual that took place where we met. Do you think what happened there might be part of it? I mean, there was a lot of undead there, and this seems to be stemming from something to do with the spirits, the afterlife, and the undead.
Many walking spirits exhausted, torn, sundered. I cannot say. Possibly. We check?
That's the plan for now.
Grunts at the warrior, who promptly grabs his saddle and starts prepping the horse. We check.
How far away is Rheindorf?
About a half day's ride.
Half day's ride. And the rest are kind of getting ready for sleep, right?
Yeah.
Probably gonna do an 8-hour. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna take my orcs, and while the rest are asleep, I'm actually going to travel to Rheindorf. Whoever is currently on watch when we leave, I'll let them know what my plan is. But
Probably Union, I would imagine.
Yeah.
it's kind of what I thought. Just wanted to make sure.
Which in turn also means like semi-Sarah.
Uh huh. But just I I don't think this is something that we can wait long. Rest, and after everyone is up, meet me in Rheindorf.
Do you ride into danger, Joseph?
I'm hoping that I'm riding away from it.
There's that
I'm hoping I'm riding to answers.
cold wind at your backs as you guys look southeastish.
Theseus.
East-ish.
Yeah. So the cold wind is coming from the southeast, blowing northwest.
At the moment, yes. It seems to shift and twist as the day goes.
Okay.
Almost like where the sun should be. So the three of you ride off. Um,
Yep.
the orcs and your mounts do their damnedest to keep up with the ever inexhaustible Joe. As more and more familiarity with the terrain comes, with flickering memories of the ritual, fallen comrades, and the perils you faced here. Honestly, not all that long ago. Um, the shaman is definitely the more alert of the two. Seems very much focused only on you though, and throughout he mentions he still has not seen any of the spirits, and he expected many as he got closer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and by the half day you arrive there on the outskirts. There you can still see the remnants of the large fire, the line of ash, the multitude of burnt bodies left behind, the trampled ground where the mass encampment had once stood, and just a bit more north of that, the actual city of Rheindorf, which you never truly set foot in.
Mm-hmm.
And in Primordial, as the heaving breath of the mounts, the two horses catch up behind you, you can hear Morg say, "There are many, too many." And that's where we fade to black.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie, but you started pushing all the buttons that labeled "Make Jera worry" as a player.